All right, and good morning, my yogis. It's great to be on the mat with you again this Monday. Today, as promised, we have an abs-focused flow. So grab your mat. If you have any blocks, grab those. And if you would like to turn on some music, feel free. It does still work as you're streaming your live stream on Instagram. So we'll just get right into it, and I promise we're just gonna go straight into our abs. So we're gonna come onto our back, and let's bring the bottoms of your feet together. The knees can go out to the side, and then we're gonna roll all the way down to the mat. And just as we start here, you can let your arms open up to the sides, tuck your shoulders up underneath your body, and we'll let your eyes close. Great, so we'll start to dedicate a little bit of space in your mind and in your life here for the next hour to your practice and to taking care of yourself. If you want to, feel free to do a quick scan of your body to see what's going on in your muscles and maybe even in your mind right now. Letting yourself still from all of the rest of the work that we've done the rest of this Monday. Letting yourself melt down into the mat here. Let's bring your awareness to your breath. So inhale through the nose and exhale. Inhaling and exhaling right here. Letting your hips open up. Next couple of breaths, if you have an intention for your practice, feel free to dedicate your practice right here. Inhale through the nose. And an exhale. Great. Let's start to bring your hands overhead. Take a hold of both of your elbows as your arms come overhead here. Should feel like a nice little stretch on the shoulders and the core, maybe even a little bit like a good morning stretch. Now as we lay here, I want you to take notice of your ribs. So are your ribs poking out? Mine are. So are they flaring out like this? If so, we're going to engage the core here and dial into that core strength as we bring those ribs back in. It might feel a little bit like a tightening of your frontal wall. It might feel a little bit like you're bringing your ribs closer to your rib cage, or maybe even like a tug of your pelvis. But that is the challenge today, is to keep your core engaged like it is now through the rest of our practice. So that will be a great way to work your core, even as we're doing other things that might not seem like core exercises. Great. So we're going to bring your hands behind your head, so they should already be above your head. We're going to bring them behind your head. Elbows come out wide. Keep that core engaged. Inhale through the nose. On your exhale, lift chin towards the ceiling. So we're not crunching, we're just lifting the chest towards the ceiling. And bring it back down. Great, let's do that again. Lift the chest towards the ceiling, making sure that that core is in and tight. Keep the gaze up and exhale it down. Great, let's do 2 more times. Take it up and down and up and down. We're going to do 4 more here. Keep those elbows wide, keep the chin going towards the sky, and keep those ribs dialed in. If you would like to step it up 1 more level, you can take the feet to hover over the mat in your Supta Baddha Konasana, but they're still pressing into each other. So let's lift up and down. Great, lift the chin towards the sky and down. 2 more, lift and down. Last one, lift and down. Release the legs, release the head, neck, and shoulders. Bring the knees in through center. And then stretch it out long. Long body stretch, arms overhead. On your exhale, bring your knees into tabletop position. The arms can go right above your shoulders, just like we're doing a dead bug position. We're going to think about our core again. So I'm going to let my core relax, just like a normal core. And then I'll start to dial those ribs down, just like we did before. So it should feel pretty like you've done this before. We just did it. Then we're going to bring your right leg down to hover over the mat. Oops. Move some blocks or water bottle out of the way. All right, and then we'll bring it back through center. So the core stays nice and stable through this. Let's go for the left leg. Go and hover and back through tabletop. Great, keep going. The right, hover, and left, keep it nice and stable through your core here. So it's simple movement, but keeping the core still, you'll start to feel a burn. I do. And left. Let's go one more each side. Keep that core in tight. That's right and left. Great. Bring it back through center. Keep that core dialed in. You're in your tabletop position. Head, neck, and shoulders can stay on the mat. And then we're going to let that right leg go out long. The left hand can come above the head. You'll feel that in your upper abs now. So bringing it back through center. And then bringing the right hand overhead, left leg goes long. Great. And back through center. Inhale it out long. Left hand, right foot. And back to center. Great. Right hand, left foot. And back through center. Let's do one more each side. Right leg, left hand. Center. And right hand, left foot. And center. Great. Bring the knees into your chest, rock them back and forth or up and down. Great. And then we'll bring the feet in through, like we're putting them up a wall here. Flex the toes towards the face. They should be right over the hips. So if you know that you have tighter hamstrings, then feel free to take a bend in your knees. That'll give you a little bit of extra room. Otherwise, keeping them flexed, keeping the toes flexed towards the face. Again, are those ribs just sitting there flaring out? If they are, we're going to dial them back in, feeling nice and strong through the core here. Take the fingertips behind the head, lift the chin towards the toes, and we're going to hold. Continue to breathe even as you hold. In and out through the nose. All right, now let's bend the knees, take them through tabletop, but keep your head, neck, and shoulders up. Extend the right leg long, and then bring the right elbow towards the right knee. Trying to think about bringing the elbow to the knee and not the knee to the elbow. Bring it back through center, and then we'll go left leg long, left elbow to right knee. Again, trying to take the elbow to the knee, not knee to elbow. Bring it back through center. Yes, yogi bicycles. We're going to go slow and intentional, keeping the core in. Inhale, left leg, back through center, and inhale, right leg, back through center. Let's do one more each side. Left leg goes long, back through center, and left side, back through center. Great. Head, neck, and shoulders can go down. Bring the legs overhead. Now that you have had a brief little break for the core on the mat, we're going to lift the head, neck, and shoulders one more time. If you do have any neck problems, though, feel free to keep it on the mat. We're going to bring that right leg, as your core is stable, to come halfway down and bring it back up to meet. And now the left leg can go halfway down and bring it back up to meet. Then you can start to bring the leg a little bit lower if that feels okay on your low back. If you feel any pain, then just stay up a little bit higher. But wherever you are, chin towards the ceiling and low core is in and tight. Again, if you need to, take the bend in the knees. Continue to breathe. Let's do one more each side. And last one. Great, bend the knees into the chest. We have one more ab exercise before we get flowing. So let's bring the knees into tabletop. Lift the head, neck, and shoulders. Twisting through the core here. So bringing the right elbow to the left knee. We're going to extend both of the legs out and bring it back in. Head, neck, and shoulders can come back down to the mat. Great, let's go for the other side. Lift, twist left elbow to right knee. Extend both legs out. Twist back to center and in. Let's go a little bit faster. So lift, twist, both legs out, center, in. Lift, twist, both legs out, center, in. Lift, twist, both legs out, center, and in. Lift, twist, both legs out, center, and in. Great. Bring the knees in to the chest. Catch your breath. And then we'll let both of your knees fall over to your right side. Take the hands out to a T. Letting your core twist here. Should feel good after all of that work. All right, let's bring the knees in through center and then let them fall over to the left. Take the hands out to a T if they've moved. And let yourself fall into the twist. All right, let's bring the knees back in through center. We're going to rock and roll a couple of times up and down the spine. Massage that back until you come over your crossed legs into hands and knees. Some nice cat-cows after we've done those abs. So let's inhale, let the belly fall down. Press the chest forward, the shoulders are down away from the ears. Exhale, round the back like you're a cat, chin to chest. Inhale, cow. And exhale, cat. Great. Continue with your cat and cow at your own pace. Great. It should feel good. Last round, inhale. And then exhale. Great. Just as a little treat, let's send the hips back to child's pose. Let the fingers melt forward as the forehead comes down to the mat. Letting yourself sink down into your child's pose. Let's come back up into hands and knees. Curl the toes under, but keep the core in. That same sensation that we had when we dialed our ribs down towards our hip bones should be coming in now. And as we keep that core in tight, we're going to just let those knees come up to a hover. Yes, beast pose here. So the feet should be curled under, the knees right underneath the hips. Continue to breathe. All right, keep this, and then we're gonna step your right foot back and then your left foot to come into a full plank. I can feel it, I know that you guys can. Continue to breathe. Letting your mind settle here. Great, let's walk it back to a beast pose. So taking this nimbly, beast pose and a hold. Beast pose is a variation on plank. And let's step it back to full plank. Woo! Continue breathing. Last one, step it to beast. Keep that neck long and step it to plank. Great. From your plank, slowly come all the way down to the mat. That feels good. Let's stretch out our abs here. Bring the elbows underneath the shoulders. Sphinx pose as you roll the shoulders back and down, engaging the legs into the mat and pressing the chest forward. Great. Bring the chest down to the mat here. You might stack your forearms on top of one another and let your forehead come to those forearms. Bend your knees, and then we'll let the feet sway side to side. Great. Bring the feet back down through center. Bring both of your hands to shoulder height on your the tip tops of your fingers, like you're doing little spidey fingers. We're going to come for a wide Cobra pose. So roll the shoulders back and down as you lift your chest. You can go as high as feels good to you. So if this feels good to you, staying right there. Great. And if you're up at the top here, you might take a look over your shoulder and switch. And bring it back down, stack the forearms, and let your feet sway. Great. Feet down through center. Place the hands right underneath the shoulders. Roll the shoulders back and down. Baby Cobra as you lift. Exhale. Press it all the way back. Child's pose. Great. And then come into hands and knees. Curl the toes under. Keep that core in. And lift up into down dog. Our first down dog of the day. Feel free to adjust. And if it feels good, walk out the legs or sway the hips side to side. Maybe come into your static dog. Wherever you are here, we're going to engage those rib points one more time. This is a great pose to do that. So a regular downward dog, you might be splaying out the ribs, like so. You might be resting through the shoulder blades and through the shoulders. This time, we're going to think about pinning those rib points down towards your hips, just like we did on our back and as we were in our plank. Great, so you can feel the whole front wall of your abs start to engage. Every time you come to your down dog here, I want you to think about engaging your core, bringing the bottom ribs towards the hip points, and then sending the sit bones towards the sky. Great, let's get out of our down dog. So let's take the gaze up in between the hands and walk tiptoe all the way up to the top of the mat. Take the feet 2 fist width apart. Exhale, take a forward fold. And we'll grab onto your elbows. Let your head hang in between your arms. Maybe just staying right here, or maybe taking a little sway side to side. All right, let the fingertips melt down to the mat. Great, take a little micro bend in your knees. Let your chest rest down on your thighs. Interlace your fingers behind your back. And then we're going to lift our chest as we extend the arms long, bending the knees, coming into a low chair. In your low chair, again, we're going to engage the core. So lift the core up away from the thighs. All right, exhale. Keep the right leg down, but we're going to transfer your weight to the right side as we lift your left leg. Coming into a little bound flamingo. As your weight is in your right leg, let's step that left leg back. Trying to go as softly as possible into a crescent lunge. Yes, your fingers are still intertwined. Maybe lift the chest, take a little back bend. Great. When you're ready, take the fingers to the hips, square off, and stay in your lunge. All right, bring the hands down to frame that front foot. Keep the left hand down. Right hand can twist up to the sky as you come into a twisted dragon, twisting through the core, trying to keep the hips stable. All right, bring both of the hands down to frame that front foot. Back knee can fall down. Let's untuck the back toe as your hands can come to settle on that front knee. Yes, coming into our first low lunge of the day, so feel free to just let yourself settle. We don't have to go down too far. All right, if it feels good, you can feel free to take the hands up overhead, maybe interlace them except for the pointer finger and thumb, and lift the chest towards the sky. But if that doesn't feel good in any part of your body, you can just keep the hands down on your thigh. All right, bring both of the hands down to frame that front foot, curl the back toe under, and then we'll step your left foot up to meet your right in a forward fold. Great. Feel free to take another ragdoll pose. Take a hold of the arms and elbows, maybe taking the opposite intertwining of your arms or cross of your arms. All right. Let's let the fingers melt down to the mat. Bend the knees, let the chest come down to the thighs. Interlace the fingers behind the back, maybe taking the opposite finger on top. And then we're gonna come into that low chair. Low core is up just like before. All right, transition your weight to your left foot. Maybe even bringing that right foot up into a flamingo. And slowly extend the leg back to softly plant back into a crescent lunge. Maybe take a back bend with your hands interlaced. And when you're ready, take your hands to the hips. Again, make sure that you're squared off. Your hips should be pointed off the short end of your mat. Bring both of the hands down to frame that front foot. Back knee can, keep that back knee up for just a second more. Right hand comes down, left hand comes up, twisted dragon here. All right, back knee can fall down as both of your hands come down to the mat. Untuck the back toes, bring the fingers up to the left knee. Low lunge. All right, if it feels good, you can come up into a pistol interlace, maybe interlacing the opposite direction. Take the arms right beside the ears. All right, hands down to frame that front foot. Curl the back toe under, step up to the top of the mat into a forward fold. Maybe this time, take a hold, if you're down at the mat, take a hold of your big toes with your peace fingers. Elbows go out to the side. However, if you find a rounding in your low back, you can always take the hands to the shins. The importance here is keeping the low back straight. If you're down at the mat, or actually if you're in any kind of forward fold, let's think about bringing your weight forward into the balls of your feet and engaging your core. If you're down at the mat, you might use your toes for a little bit of leverage. All right, inhale, elongate the spine. Exhale, release the fingers from the toes, hands to waist, micro bend in the knees as you rise all the way through standing. Exhale, great. Let's go through 5 sun salutation A's. If you are familiar with that, feel free to go through your sun sal A. Otherwise, you can follow me. We'll go through a couple of modifications. So inhale, bring the hands overhead, take the gaze to the thumbs. Exhale, forward fold over the legs. Inhale, look and lengthen. Low core comes in and up. Exhale, plant the hands down on the mat. Step it back to a plank. Great. For our modification today, let's bring our knees down to the mat. Elbows scrape the side of the body as the chest comes down and the chin as well. Letting all of your body fall down to the mat now. Baby Cobra, lift just the top part of your chest. Exhale down. Press it back to down, Child's Pose. And then come to curl the toes under into Down Dog now. We're taking 5 breaths in our Down Dog, trying to go a little bit more traditional. Remember, keep that core and those rib points in. All right, inhale, take the gaze up in between the hands, bend the knees, maybe take 2 big steps up. Exhale, forward fold. Inhale, rise, mountain pose. Exhale, heart center. Great. Let's keep going. Inhale, mountain pose. Exhale, forward fold. Inhale, elongate the spine, core up. Exhale, down to the mat. Step back to a plank. This time, if you're modifying with me, knees down to the mat, roll the shoulders back, come to a hover of a push-up, and then we'll press up into a cobra. Exhale, curl the toes under, Down Dog. Remember, the core is in and up. Press the backs of the legs to the back of your mat. Wrap the triceps under the body. All right, inhale, look up. Exhale, bend the knees, and maybe step, hop, or jump to the top. Exhale, forward fold. Inhale, rise to mountain pose. And exhale through heart center. Great, let's keep going. Inhale, mountain. Exhale, dive forward. Inhale, look and lengthen. Exhale, step the hands down, maybe step back, or if you'd like to try a hop, we're gonna hop it back. If you're modifying, feel free to do so, just like we did before. This time, if you would like, we're going to come to Chaturanga and maybe a full up dog. Knees off of the mat. Use the core, pike back, down dog. Keep your breath. Gaze softly on the knees. All right. Inhale, step, hop, jump, or float to the top of your mat. Exhale, forward fold. Inhale, rise, mountain pose. Exhale through heart center. 2 more. Inhale, mountain. Exhale, dive it forward. Inhale, look and lengthen. Move through your vinyasa. Maybe this time, if you're with me, jumping back to a chaturanga position. Inhale, up dog. Exhale, down dog. Wherever you are, however you get there, meeting us back in down dog. This is your home base. All right. Inhale, step, hopper, jump to the top. Exhale, forward fold. Inhale, rise, mountain pose. And exhale, heart center. Last one. Inhale, mountain. Exhale, forward fold. Inhale, look and lengthen. Then move through your vinyasa, however your body is calling today. Meeting back in down dog. Alright, inhale, step, hopper, jump. Exhale, forward fold. Inhale, mountain pose. And exhale, heart center. Great, I'm feeling warm. Hopefully you guys are too. Let's take the feet out to hip distance apart. Take the hands to the waist, roll the shoulders back and down. Exhale, tilt from the hips, forward fold. This time we might, if you're down at the mat, take your fingers underneath the feet. If you're not, you can keep the hands at the shins. You'll also have an option of taking the hands to a block. That will let your spine elongate. As you can see here, my spine is flat. Wherever you are, taking the weight forward, engage the core and engage the thigh. Great. Inhale, elongate the spine. Exhale, take the fingers from under the hands. The fingers from under the feet, if that's where they were. And then we're going to heel toe the feet out to the width of your mat. Bend the knees, send the hips down in between the knees and elbows to the knees as well as you press them open. If this isn't comfortable for you, you can always take a block to sit on. This is a really good one for all the sitting that we do. Opening up the hips, the inner thighs. Alright, if you're down low, we're just going to sink it down to the mat. Wherever you are though, to find yourself on your sit bones, we're going to come into a Navasana or boat pose. Grab hold of a block, or if you don't have a block, you can really take anything, maybe a pillow or a book, really anything. So wherever you are, grab a prop, and we're going to take it right in between your knees. Squeeze the knees into your block or your prop. Low core is in. Let's continue to breathe. So modifications, you can always take the hands to the knees. You can always take the feet to the mat if you need a little bit of a break. Great, keep the feet where they are. Challenge, challenge, challenge. Slowly descend head, neck, and shoulders, or sorry, the back to the mat, but we're gonna keep the head, neck, and shoulders up. Feel that earthquake. Let's lift into regular boat. That is really challenging, so feel free to take a little bit of a break. Let's go down to the mat here. Head, neck, and shoulders is up. I'm feeling it. Squeeze the knees into the block. One more time, lift it up. Woo! And hold. Feel those abs, the core, the hip flexors. And last one, down to the mat. And release. You can bring the block from outside, from the inner thighs. Reach the fingers overhead. The legs can go long. You might even shake them out. Letting your core rest. Don't worry, we're going to keep working it. All right, let's take a hold of your block. You can keep it in your hands this time. Lift your feet towards the sky and dial the rib cage in. Flex the toes towards the face. And then we're going to take your block and place it in between. I like to put it between my calves, but you can put it between your thighs or whatever feels good. Lift the head, neck, and shoulders, but keep the arms up like you're reaching towards your toes. Keep the arms up, and we're going to let the feet come down halfway. Bring it back up, take a hold of the block, know where we're going. Let the hands come overhead as both of your hands come down overhead and your feet come down. Transfer the block to the legs, arms overhead, legs down, and back. So now you know the main motion here. Modifications, bent knees. And if you're having any neck problems, you can always bring the head, neck, and shoulders down to the mat. Great. Let's do 4 more. Continue to breathe. That's 3. Last one, 4. Great. Bend the knees into your chest. Set the block to the side. Bottoms of the feet together, knees out wide. Arms overhead. Might even sway side to side. Working on our back does work our abs. Can definitely feel it, but it also works the hip flexors, so we'll open those up too. All right, bring the knees back in through center, closing them like a book. Take a hold of your prop, whatever it is. Dial into your core. Lift head, neck, and shoulders. Bring the knees into tabletop. Great. Let's take the feet. Yeah, let's come out long. The feet go out long. And then we're going to bring the block to the left side of your legs. Bring it back through center, knees in. Extend long, right side. The block goes to the right side. And in. Left side. And in. Right side and in. Again, if you need a modification, bend your knees. If you have any neck problems, just keep it here with the legs extending. Let's do 2 more each side. And last one. Great. Block to the side. Let's take a Supta Baddha Konasana again. Great, bring the knees into your chest. And we'll rock it forward and back. Should feel good until you come over the crossed legs. Let's come into a plank. Hold, hold, hold. Dial the core in. All right, press it back down, dog. That should feel good. This time we're going to take a little bit of a core stretch, so feel free to bend your knees, send the hips high, and let the chest come towards the thighs. All right, let's come back into a static down dog. Zip up the core, and we'll lift your right leg to the sky into a three-legged down dog. Challenge yourself to keep your core in, keep yourself from twisting, keep your rib cage from opening up towards the mat. All right, this time we can bend that knee in the sky and then open up to the side. Scorpion dog. And then we'll bring that knee into your nose as you come forward into a little bit of a plank, but we're rounding our back here. Press it back into a three-legged dog, and then we'll bring your knee across your body towards your left elbow. Tap, inhale it back. Exhale, knee to outside elbow. And then we're gonna plant your foot to the outside of your right leg. Great. Let the back knee fall down. Lizard lunge. So either staying right here or taking hold of your block, maybe placing it right underneath your hands. You can lift yourself up with that block or come down to it. However, a lot of times in our low lunge, in our lizard lunge, we tend to round our back like this, letting your tailbone go down towards the mat. I want you to press the chest forward, almost like you're doing a cow pose. So like you're pressing the chest forward and the tailbone goes slightly up. It's not going to go all the way up, but that is your thought as you're in your lizard. So if coming down to the block doesn't allow you to do that, if it makes you hunch, we're going to stay up here, happy lizard or proud lizard. If you want a little bit extra stretch, you can either stay right here, or if you want stretch, take a bend in that back leg, and you might circle the right hand back towards the foot, maybe catching the foot. All right, let's circle it back. Bring the back leg down to the mat, and then we'll extend that right leg long. You might inch the heel back in through center in line with your hip, or you might keep it wide. Taking a half splits here. So again, proud chest, press like you're going into a cow pose. The tailbone is happy as well, pointing, like it feels like it's pointing up, but it's not going to. Alright, so we're going to take a twist here, so keep yourself in your half split. If you want to, you can use a block to place underneath your hand and bring the right hand to the sky, or if you have enough flexibility, you can just come down to the mat. Wherever you are though, we're going to try to keep both hip points in line with one another. So that might mean it feels like you're dragging your right hip back. Alright, frame your foot as you bend your front knee. If you move any props, do so. Curl the back toe under, lift into a low lunge. Seesaw back and forth. Plant the hands, and then without scraping, we're going to step your right foot back into a plank. Slowly lower to the mat, to your belly. Great. Interlace the fingers behind the back. Roll the shoulders up away from the mat as we press the toes down. Locust pose. All right, without letting the chest fall down, place the hands right underneath the shoulders. Squeeze the shoulder blades together. All right, however you want to get to down dog, you can do so. I like to curl my toes under, press to a plank, and then come to down dog. Take a nice breath. All right, let's do the other side. Left leg goes high, three-legged dog, zip up the core. All right, we'll bend the knee, stack the hips, open up to the side. All right, knee into nose. Press that right foot back, three-legged dog. Exhale, knee across the body. Inhale, press it back, three-legged dog. Exhale, knee to outside elbow. And slowly plant the left foot to the outside of your left hand. Back knee can fall down, finding your lizard pose. You might stay on your hands, you might go to a block, but let's try to keep the shoulders back and down and pressing the tailbone towards the sky. Let's start to extend that front leg long. Coming into a half split, you might heel toe your foot in to center. Keep pressing the chest forward. We'll take our twist. If you used your block on the other side, you can do so here. Plant the right hand down, left hand to the sky, drag the left hip down and back. Plant both hands down as you bend your front knee. Curl the back toe under, lift the back knee, and maybe seesaw back and forth. All right, plant the hands and step the left foot back. Trying not to scrape. Ooh, it did a bit. And we'll slowly lower down to the mat. Great. This time we're going to plant your hands down right beside your hips as you lift and roll the shoulders back. And this time we are going to lift your toes. Continue breathing. Your low belly is pressing into the mat, and we're focusing on length instead of height. Don't release, but we're going to bring your hands right underneath your shoulders. Woo, continue. Great. And we're going to press up, up dog, and back down dog. Taking a nice breath. All right, inhale, take the gaze forward, step to, or hop to the top, and we're gonna come into a seated position. All right, let's come onto our back. Should feel good. All right. Last few core exercises. I know that we've been working the whole entire time. The last little ones, we're gonna go back to what we did at the beginning. So take your feet up the wall, flex the toes towards the face, hands behind the head, lift head, neck, and shoulders, and hold. Great. So we're going to let your right leg come down and hover, and bring it back up. Left leg. And back up. Great. Right leg. And together. Left leg. And together. Great. Let's go 2 more each side. Keep it long. Keep it stable. Continue to breathe. Great. Awesome. Take the head, neck, and shoulders down. Bend the knees into tabletop. Lift head, neck, and shoulders. Twist. Extend the legs long. Bring it back through center. Untwist. Head, neck, and shoulders down. Great. Lift. Twist. Extend legs. Back through center. Down. Lift. Twist. Extend legs. Back through center and down. Lift. Twist. Extend legs. Back through center and down. Lift. Twist. Extend legs. Back through center. Down. Lift. Twist. Extend legs. Back through center. Down. Whoo, great. All right, keep your knees in tabletop. Take the hands right above the shoulders. We're going to extend your right leg, left hand, and back. Right hand, left foot, and back. Right foot, and left foot. Continue 2 more each side. And 1 more each side. Great. Bring it into your chest. Take a hold of your block if you have it. If you don't, then you can just place your hips on the mat and bring your feet towards the sky like they're going up a wall. If you do have a block, you can place it right underneath your sacrum. Waterfall as we place the hips on your block. Take the feet down. Place the block to the side. We're going to plant your hands down right beside your hips and inch the feet into the glutes. Lifting the hips slowly here as we come into a bridge. Keep the chin long. Maybe bind underneath the back. We're slowly going to release down to the mat. Now, if you don't have a block or a prop, then continue with that bridge, or maybe even going into a wheel pose. Any kind of back bend will be good. Or if you do, we're going to place your block right underneath your hips into a rest or passive bridge. You might go for medium pose, you might medium height, or you might go for a higher height. Whatever feels good. Let your chest and your core open up. And we're going to place the block to the side. Come down from your regular bridge or your wheel if you were in it. Bring the right knee into your chest. Extend the left leg long. Squeeze the knee in. Take some rest into the hip flexor. Alright, we're going to bring that knee across the body here. Taking a supine twist. Twist through the core just like we did at the beginning. Might take the gaze out to the right hand. Alright, we'll take that knee into your chest here one more time, squeeze it in. Great, let's switch. Left knee in, right leg long. Alright, knee across the body. Supine twist. Maybe take the gaze over your left. Alright, knee back in through center. I'm going to say take the bottoms of the feet together and the knees out wide, just because it sounds good to me. But if something else feels better to you, feel free to take one last posture here on your mats. Great. Now wherever you are, let's start to come into your final resting pose. If that is Supta Baddha Konasana, then maybe stay there, or maybe find something else that's more restful, maybe extending the legs long, or planting the feet on the mat. Wherever you are though, let's start to bring the breath back down to where we began. You might notice where in your body you feel your breath. Maybe notice how deep or how shallow it is. And then we're just going to let ourselves have a scan of your body here from the top of your head all the way to your toes. Notice what is happening. If you find any areas of tension, feel free to take a little bit of time to breathe into that tension and let it go. So if you have time to stay here on your mat, I really encourage you to do so. Give yourself some space to meditate this Monday. If you don't, however, let's bring some movement into your fingers and your feet, your toes, maybe move the wrists and the ankles. And then we'll start to get a little bit bigger movement into your body. When you're ready, bring the knees over to one side, resting your head on your arm. And then when you're ready, let's press to a seated position. Taking a nice easy seat, let's rest the hands